Jora Oko Ta.
You've got... You see... Up around?
Will the High Elves build our embassy even uglier than theirs? But no, this one shouldn't complain.
Was the tree thane as rude to you as she was to me? All I asked was how one might get an audience with the Wilder King, but the way she reacted, you would have thought I was trying to slaughter her children. Did she treat you any differently? She did? That's funny, because Ander and I offered to drive the orcs away and she turned us down. I don't know, I'm beginning to suspect this is some elaborate Bosma trick and the whole village is laughing at us when we're not looking. I didn't say that. There is definitely a distinctive magical force in this part of Valenwood, but I fail to understand by what logic the Tree Thane decides who gets an audience with the Wilder King and who gets turned away. Oh, I'm Aranias. Maybe you've read my book, Spriggans in the Green, Story and Myth in Primitive Bosma Society? Probably not, I guess. Anyhow, Ander and I came in a scholarly pursuit to see if this Wilder King is really as powerful as they say. We'll just have to venture deeper into the forest on our own. We'll probably get lost and suffer a slow and painful death, but that's the risk we have to take. If you're going after the wood orcs, though, I know something that might make it easier. If you want, you can take the essence from the calliope tree and rub it all over your body to cloak yourself in a haze of forest moths. The wood orcs won't even see you. Oh, one more thing. Ander scouted out the orcs' camp pretty extensively. He might have some useful observations if you ask. Good luck with the wood orcs and that tricky tree thane. Maybe we'll meet again when we find the Wilder King. There seem to be a lot more rumors than any real facts. Some say he's a man. Others say he's a spirit, an embodiment of the forest. What I find most fascinating, though, is the rumor that he actually shapes the entire forest. That's just incredible. Me? I was born and raised in the Somerset Isles on a rather small island known as Silitar. It's a pretty secluded place. Growing up there was what first sparked my interest in studying nature magic. But, well, it was very lonely. Of course not. He's mainly here, acting as my guardian. They warned us that this place was dangerous, and if the Wilder King is really as unpredictable as people say, well, never hurts to be prepared.
I spent several hours watching the wood orcs and evaluating their weaknesses. As a whole, their strength is in numbers. As long as you don't take on the entire camp, you should be fine. The chieftain's the one you have to watch out for. By the look of his scars, he's seen his share of battle, and he knows how to take a beating. Don't expect him to go down quickly. There's a shaman who's never far from his side as well. I'd focus on killing the shaman first. Good luck.
Did you hear something? goes to the city just for the pickpockets. Says it's the only love he ever gets. As long as I take 5 or 6 of them with me.
So the Wood Elves have a friend who's not afraid to fight. the ale came up.
Gorak? In South Point? Oh, the tales can't be true, can they? Nah, of course not.
My scouts came back singing your praises. They said the Wood Orcs broke quickly after you killed Chieftain Thragdosh and unleashed the Guardians. I wasn't exactly expecting you to succeed. Seems there's more to you than meets the eye. And you're worried I won't hold up my end of the bargain? No, I keep my promises. You got rid of those parasitic orcs. You've earned the right to petition the Wilder King for an audience. I hope I haven't given you a sense of false hope, though. Bosma around here petition the Wilder King for an audience all the time, and he rarely responds. More than likely, you're simply wasting your time. Suit yourself. Just south of my home, you'll find the petitioning stone. Just touch it. Probably nothing will happen. If he wants to speak with you, though, he'll appear when you touch that stone. I never said it was complicated. Besides, by scaring off those wood orcs, you just might have improved your chances. The Wilder King sees these things, you know. All right, run along now, and may the forest part to reveal your path.
Welcome to my court, outsider. Since you entered my domain, I have watched your actions with keen interest. You have been generous with my people and more patient than I expected. But I still cannot gather one thing. Why have you come? Again, not what I expected. I think I've heard of this old merry dominion, but I don't see how inclusion in this group would appeal to me or to the people in my domain. Aligning with you would only alienate us from others. Interesting. You think we have common enemies? My only enemies are those who would seek to harm Valenwood. Let us test your theory, though. Show me one of these enemies of whom you speak, so I might better understand. Use the other stone pillar, the one on the platform behind us. Touch that stone pillar and an apparition will appear. One of your enemies, as you say. Fight this enemy so that I might see its true nature. I am pleased to be able to lend you strength to face this enemy from your past.
Strike us down, but the veiled heritance will always rise again.
Zazi is finished with this village. Now you are negotiating with a forest spirit who calls himself a king? With all those floating leaves, Azazi thinks he looks very silly. Do you really think this is going somewhere? Or is it just a waste of time? By the light of John and Jod, this is the craziest thing ever seen. Even Razamdar would have lost his patience by now. If you think all this makes sense, then Azazi is starting to wonder about you too.
I sense the darkness in the heart of the one you fought, but he has already been defeated, has he not? And those like him, they may not all share his darkness. You should have me call these people enemies, though. The Veiled Heritance. Yes, I am familiar with this distinction as well. There is one among this group who has come to Valenwood to see me, and I find her curious. Very curious. I'm not inclined to consider her an enemy. She is one who has been blessed with fascinating gifts. Gifts I cannot afford to ignore. You would know her identity, though. I was able to capture one of her memories. Touch the petition stone again, and I will share it with you.
We have much need of someone like you, Aranias.
Yes, young one. We have a problem in the Valenwood that will require your talents specifically.
I would be honored to help however I can.
An opportunity has arisen to strike a devastating blow to the Dominion, to divide the Bosmer.
The Bosmer in Greenshade claim allegiance not to King Camoran, but to a man they call the Wilder King.
Killing this Wilder King will drive the Bosmer mad. He is very elusive, though, so I will need your help to find him.
You realize we are entrusting you with an important task, I hope, my dear.
Of course, Lady Estrie, you can count on me.
As you've just seen, the young girl Aranias is associated with the Veiled Heritance. Until I know more about her, I hesitate to call her an enemy. I will have more insight soon, though. Even now, Aranias is on her way to my throne. So she believes, but there may be a greater truth to her purpose here. You may not like this, but I sense the same is true of you. Like the branches of a grat oak, I believe that Aranias' destiny, my destiny, and your destiny are all intertwined. I cannot yet see how these events will play out, but I do know that like Aranias, you must come deeper into the forest. You must eventually come to my throne, but not yet. Each of us is a strand to be spun into the story of Valenwood. You should seek out the spinner, Marrowan. He can tell us how this story began and where it should end. Yes, traveling through Valenwood is a funny thing. It may take them many days to find the path to my throne. You have all the time you need. Find the spinner's cottage and speak to Marrowan. Safe journeys, my friend.
Dancing elves, forest spirit kings. These people are pulling on the tail in more ways than one. You can stay if you want to, but Azazi thinks it is time for him to return to Marbrook.
This one heard the same. Heard they ran away like cowards.
All except for their war captain. He stayed and fought.
It's good for the Bramble Breach. But this one wonders how long their isolation is.
Top quality merchandise.
Sorry, not doing any business today. You found it where? Wait, you brought the axe back? It's here with you? Absolutely not. Get it away from here, immediately. I cursed that axe myself. It draws spirits and undead like flies to honey. Of course. I wanted them out of the mine, out of Greenshade. You see what they do to the forest everywhere they go. They cut down everything in sight. Although if you're standing here, I suppose the axe worked. That's actually good news. No, that's not necessary. Now that it has served its purpose, I'll simply remove the enchantment. You can keep it. A souvenir. Now, give it here. Now, let's see about this curse.
So much to do.
Done. Good as new. There, that's done. The curse is gone. Now the only danger this axe poses is the sharp end. Absolutely. You've brought the best news I've heard in several weeks. Enjoy your trophy.
Step up, have a look. Buying and selling.
I need a break.
Our guild house is new, but with the Queen's blessing and your support, we will grow.
If one more...
I was beginning to think you wouldn't make it. I've already begun Aranias' story. Yes, of course. I have been waiting for you for some time. The story needs you to play a part in the present and in the past. You certainly took your time about things. Not your fault, I understand, not your fault. We may yet get this right. Inside the story, you must also enter the story in order to help her. Aranias wants to see the Wilder King. I'm his gatekeeper. To see him, you ask me nicely, and then I tell you a story. A story that you take part in. Yes, the story is one from her own past, but she's convinced that she's living through these events for the first time. You'll play the part of the close friend she never had, someone she can trust, who can change the person Aranias becomes. Ask nicely. Of course. Now, sit down by the fireplace. Imagine there's a nice warm fire burning there, and I'll set the scene.